Alrighty.
Okay. So, last time you guys heard a little bit of information. Or I guess 2 times ago, you heard a little bit of information about this particular tower spire is something about a city um of the dead or something like this, some information, and you interrogate one of the locals who heard a little bit about where this location might be. Um, and so after bribing them, uh, you got your information and you left East Haven after spending quite a bit of time there, and you trekked across a large portion of the tundra. Unfortunately, I made a mistake here, and I have to retcon something. Now
All of
I don't
us
know
have
if you know.
died.
No. I retcon. So the big retcon that I want to do is the trip already happened. We're just gonna say it happened, but on the map, I picked the wrong location to actually traverse you guys to. So the descriptions that I was giving, I was like, oh, okay, technically weren't where you're supposed to be, but I don't think it makes. It was supposed to take shorter. Actually, that's the big takeaway. It wasn't supposed to take as long as it was supposed to take.
Nice. Okay.
So you guys just traveled for a while. I was like, this doesn't. I was like, is this right? So I went back and I was like, okay, let me make sure I'm looking at the correct location on the map. And I was like, nope, I'm not. But
I will have you know that when the Southerners travel, we're still going in the wrong direction. So we just like to take a little bit more time.
Yeah, so I guess for someone that was really into it, or the people on YouTube were just following the book closely as I described the terrain and landscape, I'm full of shit. So
Dude was like, "You're going the wrong way."
He's like, "You're going the wrong way. You're taking it." But anyhow,
look, there was a lot of snowfall, and some of the snow buildup looked mountainous and threw us off.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like you guys were like, oh man, I was supposed to head west instead of east. No, you still were heading towards the right direction, just not as far as I had you go. So nonetheless, you guys make it to the tower. You guys spend some time, or whatever this thing is, I guess. You're not exactly sure. But hint, it is a tower, I guess, since I've spoken it. But and you guys try to find it, and you eventually do, and you get sucked in to this location here. And we kind of ended last time as you guys are tumbling down into whatever this room cavern thing is that was kind of blocked off. It almost it was like suction cup, it just the wind's pulling you in. Definitely not natural. So that's where we kind of left off. Did you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, feedback?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
then let's... we're gonna die, but other than that, no.
It is entirely possible. So we'll see.
Just remember that city was super hard to find. I think I fell off a cliff.
I thought that's what you were gonna retcon, and Oliver broke both of these legs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry. Actually, yeah, he's gonna be severely reliant on you guys to move around. No, okay. So let's bring you guys to the map. And if I did this correctly, you guys should be there. So let me guys give a bit of a description of what on earth you see. So you tumble down roughly 20 feet or so. And so for the sake of purposes, you guys, it's like a rocky wall, as you guys are barely seeing this from the little bit of light that it's coming from overhead. And then immediately becomes pretty dark as it kind of slopes inward. So it's almost like you're going down a slide. But the kind of rocky walls are kind of coated in a layer of ice, so you're not going to take any damage. I'm not going to have you roll anything to... That'd be cheap to just make you guys take damage right off the spot. So, So yeah, the description says the slippery tunnel opens into an upside-down room, the contents of which are coated in frost. Across from the tunnel is a wooden door that's flush with the ceiling, which is used to be the floor. The door is ajar, and flanking it are two identical stone statues that hang down like stalactites. Across from the statues are sconces with upside-down flames. So they actually the sconces are actually extinguished right now, so they're not even there. But anyhow, nonetheless, you tumble down. You see kind of like the door at the entrance, and then who has dark vision here? Because it is completely pitch black, unless you guys ever light a torch or whatnot.
Timothy was gonna pull out a torch when we landed there.
Okay.
Assuming I'm not stopped by something.
Yeah.
I
Thorn and Oz have dark vision.
Should have my dark vision goggles.
I assume I gave both ADs his dark vision goggles back.
Yeah. Then I'll unpause this here. And then this is the party order that I had right now, so you guys can actually readjust however you want to. Oh, sorry, this door should be open for you. So I'm gonna open it up. So yeah, you see you see this room, and so the first thing I'll have you guys do is I want everyone to roll a Constitution saving throw. As you come down here, somehow it's even colder than the exterior of the outside. It's like there's no preservation in here. And what's eerily noticeable is it's that it's it's just like completely like stagnant air. Like it's almost like it's like you're like
Huffing a frozen
like,
fart.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, a little bit. But the air just feels really still and like really, it's almost like damp as well. But like, I mean, it's not humid or anything like that. It just feels completely off. Okay, so what do we have here? I need one more roll. Did we get everybody?
Does Oz still need to roll with his staff?
Oh, that's correct. Thank you for my. No, you are fine. The staff is. You're getting a lot of mileage on that staff.
Ooh,
Do we need to make a con save?
Elsa.
Do we need to make a con save if we hold on to Oz's staff?
Yeah, can we all
hold
tune
on
to the staff at the same time? We just have like an hour-long kumbaya staff.
We're just walking around, everyone holding onto it.
Rotating like a freaking wheel or whatever.
Actually, no, Oz. For this one, I will have you roll. But you will have that resistance. So, it is just a way. It's something. It's much more than just like the terrain out here. So, but you do have the advantage. So.
Oh, do I roll that with advantage because of?
Yeah. You'll
okay.
get the.
Yeah, I'll hit the button again. Ooh, that is so much better than the two.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, according to everyone here, unfortunately, the only two that fail are Asilo and Jimothy. So yeah, you guys are just, it's almost like it's just going straight to the bone. You're having a hard time like moving. It's really affecting you. So again, you occur a point of exhaustion, and it's just -1 to all your. Essentially to most of your rolls here. So make sure you track that. I'll do my best to kind of keep that going. Okay, so you have here, right, kind of like this rubble along the path here. You have like this hallway for those that can see. It seems like everyone, once they light up everything, then you see kind of like a door immediately to your left. Or sorry, north, I guess, or up, and then to your right as you're kind of like facing down the hallway. So, yeah, you guys are kind of free to move about. Check the doors here. Whatever you guys want to do.
I'm gonna let Asilo go first. In case there's a weird step.
Come in
I'll have
here,
to go second.
and I will walk up to the first door, and I will try and check for traps.
Okay, so
and to see if it's locked.
Sure. Yeah, give me an investigation check, and then so just to be clear, I don't know if you guys heard this when I was mentioning in the description. You do like kind of like adjacent or like next to the two doors are like two statues, like stone statues next to them. Okay. So, all right, with a 14, check this real quick. You
They're
notice that
just-
it is not trapped, and it is unlocked. And sorry, go ahead, Zora.
And the statues don't have any, like a placard or a nameplate. It's just statues, right?
They're
There's no
just
words
statues.
next to them. Perfect.
The statues, what they depict, it seems like they are. It depicts like a long-faced human. They're kind of like wearing like wizard's robes, and they're clutching like a staff. But they have like some words on them, but it seems like they're kind of faded. Yeah, Zoran, why don't you give me a history check, please?
I was just gonna take a look at the statues. Just
Yeah, I'll point out the staff and be like, Oz, it's like you.
is this actually Oz from the past or something?
Okay, so with a hit, it's not. With an 18 history, you notice that the two statues depict, it seems like the, the wizard that was, that you guys executed. And then that's what you were able to tell Zoran. You're just like, he looks familiar, and you're thinking about it, and you're just like, this guy looks like the guy we just killed in East Haven.
I guess I'll point that out to Silo. He's the one who executed him. He would have been real close to his face.
I'm sure I would have put a bag over his head so he never saw it coming.
Oh, and sorry, Asala, you were looking at the door just right where you're at in front of you.
Yep.
Okay, I'll. Do you want me to open it? Do you open it? It is unlocked.
I will slowly push the door open.
Okay. Are you stealthing to do that, or are you just kind of?
I'm going to try and do it as quietly as I can, so I suppose I should attempt to roll a stealth check.
Okay. As you're doing that, Oz, did you want to look at these statues as well, or?
If there's room in this space, Oz will try and just take a peek at the statues, but I mean, he's not gonna
Okay.
press up against anyone to do so.
What are you looking at, or like what are you trying to gain?
Well, I assume all wizards, the robes they wear are indicative of the kind of like magical focus that they're going for, whether it's necromancy or, real magic.
Necromancy or something fancy.
Yeah.
Something real. None of that garbage and necromancy. Yeah. Why don't you give me an Arcanic check, please? And then we'll come back to you here, Silo. Oh, okay. So, ironically, it's kind of weird because you're kind of like trying to gather this from, looking at a statue. But nonetheless, the kind of like the way the shape of the robes of the statue are indicative, and you've heard of them, and they're infamous, of the red wizards of Faerun. Quite frowned upon, and it probably was kind of like scratching at the back of your mind of, this particular wizard practicing necromancy, that they might be aligned with the red wizards, or at some point. And so that's a bit what you know. So yeah, not great. They're not
No.
really good people, but these two statues kind of show that this particular wizard was part of that group, organization, whatever you want to call it. With the 23, I'll let you ask any one question or anything else you'd like to know about this.
Is he able to make out the writing, or is it too faded?
It is a bit too faded, yeah, to tell exactly what it's supposed to say.
Okay.
But yeah, what you would gather is probably maybe some of their words of their belief system and how they approach that wouldn't be too uncommon for when people put the words or their signs on themselves.
All right. Well, in that case, Oz, I think, is going to I think he is going to pull out his quill, and on this statue, right, the Southerners were here.
Okay. All right. You do
yeah.
that. As you're taking your time to do that, I will open up the door here for Asilo. Asilo, you'd open the door to reveal a room here. And what's interesting about this particular room is that do you step in or do you kind of just look in first?
The interesting part about this room is it's filled with traps.
Not quite yet.
I would, since the door wasn't trapped, I would probably just go ahead and step in.
Okay. So, what is really odd here? So you step in, you don't see anything, but as soon as you step in, you notice that everything is just immediately elevates to be upside down towards the ceiling. So all the items is kind of like the table. There's like a shattered table, some a couple tables, a bunch of tools. They're all hanging from the ceiling.
So they were on the floor until I walked in, and then as soon as I stepped in, they all went up to the ceiling.
And then you yourself included shift up and you're upside down.
Am I walking on the ceiling or?
You are walking on the ceiling. It's like a weird gravitational effect. It's almost like it's inverted. So you guys just kind of see Asilo just rotate right side up or upside down rather.
Okay. So
you still have the effect of kind of for not you necessarily, Silo, but the blood was kind of rushing to your head, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you are essentially upside down.
Can you flip the map over?
Say to.
Oh God, absolutely not. And if not, I'll see you guys. If you guys really want that, I'll see you guys next week.
To get a better look, I will light my own torch because I'm relying on the little bit of light that's coming through the door from Jimothy's torch. And
well, I assume Jimothy's light would have gotten pulled up to the ceiling as well.
Black hole?
Yeah.
Just completely just messed up.
The real question is, did Jimothy notice him going up?
Yeah, is it like he steps in the room and he's just upside down, or does he flip like
it's like a weird
gravity just reversed?
Yeah, it's like a weird inversion. To you, Jimothy, it seems like to you, Jimothy, it seems like things are just kind of like normal per se, because you haven't stepped in. Like things just seem normal, and you just see a silo walk in. To a silo, it was like an instant flip. Like it was just like a weird effect of him just flipping upside down.
Okay, so he looks normal to us.
Correct. He looks normal to you. But you know, depending on the silo's reaction, you could probably tell like, whoa, something transpired here. So yeah, this room contains shattered and jumbled equipment. You see the two heavy wooden kind of like tables. But yeah, that's pretty much all you see. Sorry, go ahead, Asylum.
I'll call back out through the door and say, you know, be careful with that first step when you come in here. It's a little disorienting. And I will walk over and like look at the tables and see if I can find anything interesting or of use.
Sure. Okay, give me while you're in there, give me an investigation check.
So probably -1, so 11.
11? Okay. So yeah, you investigate, and mainly what you find are kind of like tools, scalpels, things that you would probably see kind of like in an operating room. A bunch of knives and you know, clamps and yeah, just a bunch of different things. And yeah, so you don't find anything particularly of like immediate use to you or anything that could give any indication of what happened or what's going on in this particular room. So you find a bunch of tools in here. You're more welcome to take any of it, but they've all been kind of like strewn about the ceiling, I guess, here, and kind of like this, they're splintered, or you know, the handles are kind of broken, or something's like piece of the metal is kind of like broken off and stuff like that. So
okay, I'll just walk over to the next door and try the door.
Okay, you're just gonna open it, or
yeah, I'm just gonna try and open the door.
Okay. Give me 1 second here.
Because I mean, nothing happened with the first door, so I think this door's probably okay too.
Yeah.
Perfect logic.
Yes. So, yeah, you check the door, and that one is also open. Yeah, so you can open it up. And it is unlocked, and you don't feel any traps immediately activating. So before you proceed, what are the rest of you doing?
Oz is finishing up his beautiful calligraphy on the statue to deface it.
Yeah.
Do I notice in this hallway, like if there's areas where we can, you know, put our torch up and maybe light the hallway up?
Yeah. So I did kind of mention that there are like sconces kind of hanging around that are unlit. So you're more welcome to kind of like light those up.
Yeah. Can we do that then as we're going down this hallway?
Yeah, absolutely. So you kind of go along and you'll light those up, kind of illuminating the room where you're at.
So I know that there's this door here. I would like to check to see if it's open.
Okay. Yeah, give me are you just gonna open it, or do you just want to Okay. So give me 1 second here.
Is that the door that's currently shut in this hallway that you're checking, or is that
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's what I thought. I just couldn't see your character. Mine might be on top of it. Oh, it is. Okay, all right.
Okay. So yeah, you open it up, and yeah, sure thing. It is unlocked. You open it up, and it looks like it reveals like a library. Books strewn about. Oz immediately just runs.
I mean, I do feel like I would mention it to Oz because I mean we did see quite a few things in the you know, the wizard's house and stuff, so maybe he can find something in here.
Right. So yeah, you see this bookshelf. So I'm assuming Oz quickly finishing up the final touches of his
I think he probably body checks me as he's trying to like rush into the room, and I'm like, okay, whoa.
Yeah.
Which he just
Like-
kind of hurts his elbow, so he's like, ah.
Zorn hasn't even said anything yet. He just sensed that there was a library and just shoved her out of the way.
I mean, old books have a smell.
It's true. You do get that distinct old book smell in here. So Oz, as you step in, immediately the same effect that happened to Asilo is that you flip yourself kind of over and you are on the ceiling from your perspective as you kind of like look out to see Zorn, and they're like, you know, inverted in your perspective.
So it's not like I fell up to the ceiling. It's like I was rotated.
You feel like it's like, yeah, you don't feel like, you don't like just like, whoa, raised up or anything like that. You just feel like you're like inside, we're just like, whoa, you feel disoriented, like you're like, whoa, how did I rotate myself? It's almost like instant. It's almost like it's magic.
I guess if that happens here, he's gonna like shove himself out of the hallway.
Okay. You shove
And
yourself out.
he wants to really focus on what's going on when he assumes he's gonna flip back.
Yes. And sure enough, yeah, you step back out, you check Zorn again, really hurting her, taking
Right.
1d12.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, 1d12 worth of damage. No, I'm just kidding. So you go back out, and then to you, Zorn, it seems like Asilo just, or not Asilo, sorry, Oz just stepped out. But to you, Oz, you're just like, you have the same like churning effect. Like as you're in turns, as you're like kind of like almost rotated back to walking back into the hallway.
Does Oz recognize this kind of magic at all? Like the school of like obviously something magical is going on here. He's not
Sure.
he's not so crazy that this is all in his mind. At least he doesn't think he is.
Right. Okay. Yeah, give me an Arcana check here. It's gonna be a bit tough on this one, but we'll see.
12.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not. I mean, you clearly, right? I mean, you're a wizard. You understand that this is magical. You're not quite sure what it is. It is kind of. What is odd to use is like, it is quite powerful that you haven't checked all the rooms, but at least this room, a relatively large room from as you stepped in. Oops, sorry, I didn't close the door. Would have this effect here. So it's got to be somewhat powerful. But it seems like it's intrinsic to the buildings, as they were like, or this particular room at the very least. But yeah, you can't quite put your finger on it. Maybe with some study, maybe with some further reading, you could figure it out, or more investigation of the area. But right now, it's just not coming to you. Okay.
He'll step back. Whoops. He'll step back in.
Okay, you step back in, same effect.
Yeah, at that point, Zorn's gonna ask, like, Oz, why do you keep going in and out of this room?
Yeah, Zorn, you're just kind of seeing him just kind of like, whoop, whoop.
Step in and I think you'll understand.
It's like I'm flipping out, man. I'm flipping out.
I'm tripping balls here.
I was thinking more like he was doing a hokey pokey check.
And then once again, Oz decks Zorn, taking an additional D12 worth of damage. It's just not. I'm just kidding.
I feel like the DM is playing a different game right now.
Yeah, it's just I'm just messing around here.
I'm so glad I didn't. I'm so glad I didn't have to actually take it because oh my god,
that would be a lot.
you're
Jimothy
so strong,
and
Oz.
Hades, what are you guys doing? What's happening? You guys just kind of observing this, or are you guys just walking about?
Oz is the Draugr from that frickin' cartoon skit.
So these are the only two rooms. I guess I'll check the end of the hallway. If it looks like it's just like a dead end hallway, like it goes further past these doors but stops, I'm gonna go check this wall and see if there's maybe if I feel any drafts of air coming through cracks around the edges or something like that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Give me give me a perception or investigation, whichever you're kind of like looking or you're kind of like moving the rocks, whichever you think you would be stronger at. Okay.
So
With a
if I
perception
see
of
that
10.
he's moving rocks, I would like to help him with that. But if he's not moving rocks, I won't worry.
Yeah, I guess with the perception it's kind of like more just kind of like looking, not really necessarily touching per se, but like you do Timothy, with a 10, you do kind of see that like this was at some point this particular location where you're at stairs, and somehow like part of the building or whatever this is collapsed, and it seems to be kind of like impeding or like blocking your path, this rubble here, to stairs. What is a bit odd to you, and you're not quite sure, you can't really get it, is whether it goes up or down.
Yes.
These steps.
So I can't see any cracks or anything like that in the rubble where I can like see through. No, it's full.
No, yeah, not. You're able to kind of discern that, but besides that, no, you're not able to see more.
I guess if I can't find any way back, that way, I guess I might go back to the entrance here and see if I see anything back in the main cave room. I don't know why I can't like WASD move my character for some reason. Okay.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I'll just see if I see anything around down in here, and if not, then I'll go join them in the other rooms.
So are the rocks like big enough for me to like pick up and move towards like this room here if I wanted to make some room, or is it like the rocks are from the ceiling to the floor?
It is quite a large amount. Like you could take the time to do it, but you're not exactly sure how much. And like that's the other thing, right? Like if you were to start like removing rocks, right? Like you have to be kind of careful with how you do it, otherwise you're gonna slide down. I will allow you to do that if you want to do it. It just you're not sure how long it's gonna take.
Cool. Okay. I just figured I'd ask. So, nope, I will wait to see what Asilo and Oz find from their respective rooms, and I will wait out in the hallway.
Sure. Okay, so let's go back to Asilo as he's splitting here. Actually, before that, sorry, Bofades, what were you doing?
So Bofades knows that there's that we're going to this city of the dead, and there's only one person that's looking out for the dead. So he was gonna follow Silo into that other room.
Like it. Okay. Cool. Okay. So Asilo, what you can see here. Oh my gosh, the tech magic is huge.
Also, I will be following along.
Okay.
Behind him, and I'll give him some bardic inspiration if he ever needs to use it.
Okay. I'm going to delete this, but I understand where your range is at now. Oz here.
Okay. That works.
That's because I was like, oh wow, there's a lot. Okay, so Masala, you're still maintaining the kind of like upside down. Bofades, you immediately also feel the same effect. And then you're kind of like flipped over. You feel like part of the blood's coming like going to your head as you're following, and this feels odd to you. Yeah, you're like, whoa, am I like upside down? As you kind of look back into the hallway and you see that everything's just like inverted. But yeah, so you follow along Asilo, you go into another room here.
I kind of cautiously take a step into the next room.
Mm-hmm.
Or try to, but it says I keep running into a wall.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay, well, let me just, what's this wall here? Oh, that's why.
Okay, there we go. To make sure I don't like step through the doorway and then slam into the floor since I got thrown up to the ceiling.
Yeah, so you come in and you it's almost like you maintain the same orientation. Like you're still upside down, you're not. But in this particular room, it's like glass is almost like shattered. A bunch of like vials and beakers and things are kind of like broken on the ground. Then you see just below you, kind of like where you're standing, you see this kind of like large wooden chest, kind of like wrapped in like the metal that's that you use. You see that it is locked. It's got a lock on the chest. It's embedded in the chest, and it is locked. But yeah, that's like the first thing that you see as you walk in here.
And so seeing the chest, I call it to the rest of my group, and say, that there's a chest in here. Is there anyone that can possibly find a way to open a lock?
Jimothy will run in the room.
Okay, Jimothy, you come across. You see this chest here. It looks kind of pretty large. It's not that quite big, but you see this chest. And do you own a set of thieves' tools?
Of course, I'm a rogue.
Okay. Okay.
So are we standing on the ceiling and the chest is on the floor?
No, the chest is also inverted with you guys. It's
okay.
Up, yeah.
I didn't know if I was gonna like have to like basketball palm Jimothy up in the air so he could like reach the chest that's on the floor while we're standing on the ceiling.
Right. Yeah, no. So far you haven't gotten to that. You just feel weird. Jimothy, yeah, you rush in and it's almost like, I mean, you get really like inward. You're like, whoa, what the hell happened? Like your insides.
I immediately like go to my knees and I like just crawl the rest of the way.
Yeah. Asilo and Buffades, you kind of see Jimothy just crawl into the other room. But yeah, Jimothy, you come up to there. Yeah, why don't you give me kind of like a sleight of hand with the proficiency there of your thieves' tools. See what you can open. Okay, a 15 here. Okay, so with a 15, you're kind of like working on it, and then click, and you open it up, and then then something starts to happen as you open the chest. I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
I point the chest at a silo when I open it.
Pretty good save.
Okay. So you kind of like rotating it as you're opening it up. But what happens here is it's a bit odd. There was like, it seems like there's like vials inside the chest, and they start falling, inverting them. But with a 24, you're able to like quickly catch them. You're like that what's it like the one scene in Spider-Man 1 where he like catches all like the the cafeteria.
Milking cows prepared me for this moment.
Nice.
And then Asilo, you see Jimothy somehow immediately catch all these vials in his hands. I mean, with 24, that's a really great. But yeah, Jimothy, you catch all these vials, and it seems like they're filled with some sort of substance. You got some potions in your hands here. You're not sure of what exactly, but you have some.
I look like when I'm carrying my groceries inside, like my hands are completely full. Like, I can fit one more for sure.
Yeah. It's not that actually that many, but you do catch like 4 potions in your hands.
Well, I will put them in my jacket for now and try to maybe put them all in different pockets so that I'm not gonna break them against each other.
Yeah.
I'll give them to Oz when I see him again.
Okay, so you catch them, and then it's interesting. Like as you kind of like catch them, it almost seems like the rules of like how the physics you are in like readjust to how you're oriented. Like they're not like trying to keep falling, or like you don't see the liquid like kind of go towards the top of like where the cork would be or the lid would be. It's almost like they maintain the position relative where you're at. So that's good. That's great. So yeah, note that you have 4 unknown potions. Okay. Yeah, Silo, you see this?
Is there anything
Okay.
else in the chest, or is it just these potion things?
Yeah, in the chest. Once you in the chest you kind of see actually a set of fine red robes in the chest.
What does red mean, Osmanthus? Red dresses or robes, whatever it is you wear.
Does Oz hear this?
You're a bit far out.
Does Zorn hear it?
Far out.
You're a bit far out, dude. Sorry, where's
I would
Zorn at? Zorn, yeah, you
hallway.
hear this. Yeah, you hear
Okay,
this.
so I'm going to relay that to Oz and say, Oz, what does red robes mean? Are those good or bad?
They're the robes of kind of a bad wizard organization. And you know they're bad because they're red. I mean, blue is clearly the better color.
I mean, red could just be powerful and confident. I don't know.
Bad.
Sorry, this wizard had swagger.
I will relay that to Jimothy.
No, that wizard had skeletons in his closet.
Yeah.
Literally.
Jimothy, you do see something a bit odd about the robes. It seems like they have like a bunch of they're pretty nice, but it seems like they have like a bunch of like patches or stitches that are kind of like closed. It seems like this person like tore it a bunch or something like that. Like you can't quite tell. But they have it's almost like it's like intentional. Like the design has like a bunch of like really like crappy stitching that are little like lines.
Secret pockets.
Kind of, like, oriented in different ways.
Gravity pockets.
Gravity.
Where else are you going to keep your pocket sand?
Or your tater tots.
Okay, well, I will, I guess I will show it to, I'm assuming Silo's standing there with me looking at it. But, strange fashion in the north.
Yeah.
Would I mean I know that mages are kind of a different thing, but would there be like any like religious type connotations that would go with these robes, like a certain belief set that I'd be able to determine?
Sure. Why don't you give me a religion check from these? Maybe you're like, oh, kind of like Oz has a little bit of like more arcane study from it. Like maybe you understand a bit more about what. Oh yeah, just give me a religion check here. What they would potentially be coming from, or what they would worship.
I mean, because of exhaustion, it'd probably be a straight roll, so 11.
11. Okay. So yeah, you're not exactly sure what they would worship, but from all of you being in the South, you've especially you kind of like more being a man of faith, you kind of hear about you identify this to be like, oh, that is a red wizard's robe, kind of like a little bit similar understanding. And all you're not exactly sure what particularly or who particularly they worship or what, or if it's one god, multiple deities, or whatever. You just know it's not good. They tend to be more quote unquote evil aligned. So this is not exactly a holy place for sure. So that's what you have so far.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's head back to Oz. Oz, you cast your detect magic, correct?
Mm-hmm. There are a lot
Okay.
of books in here, and Oz has traveled with his group to know that they're not going to let him sit in this room and just for the next 12 hours read through these books. So he wants to know if any of them are extra special.
Sure. Okay. So, yeah, you. Let me make sure I get this right. Okay, so you don't, because of the range of this. Sorry, I had to look and see where things are. You don't immediately get a ping in this particular room. So you get it from the other rooms where they're at. You kind of sense that. I don't know. Actually, let me look at the language here. What do you get here? Do you have to be? It is blocked by 1 foot of stone. Okay, so I guess, for the sake of it, we'll say that you get the pings from the other rooms per se, where that are open up. I guess I'll say that. But in this particular room that you're at, you don't get any senses of magic in these rooms. It seems like they're just a bunch of books.
And there's a lot of books in here, right? Are they?
There are a lot of books. There are certain books that are a bit like a bit more ornate, like a bit like they kind of like catch your eye. They're not like
I'll grab as many of the ornate books as I can, and the one obvious book that's clearly like I'm evil, like it's like made from human leather or elf leather, like that's clearly in this room. So
okay. So for now, for purposes that you can't really get through, let's say you collect because you have to carry these, right? Like these are kind of like
who's got the bag of holding? This is ridiculous.
So Lauren does. So she sees that Oz is trying to carry some books or whatever. So she's gonna hold the bag open and see if he wants to put anything in there.
Yeah, Oz has like 3 books in his hands and he's struggling with the weight.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll say that you collect 5 books for now that are somewhat of import.
Okay, he doesn't want to spend too long in here because he knows he only has like 10 minutes with his spell. So while there are a ton of books, he wants to maximize impact of ability.
And there weren't any like journals in there, right? They were like truly books like he would find in
they're
a
almost
library.
like textbooks. Some of them you pick up, right, like as you're kind of going through. Like say some of them are like they're damaged. Like the pages are damaged, some of them are smeared, some of them are just torn apart, some of them are like crumbling, like they were already old when they were acquired, and they just because of the neglect continue to be
in this cold.
It's weird. This is the GMs of saying that you have 5 books of worthwhile. I'm not gonna give you a full library of books and be like, all right, let's go through every single one of them.
We'll have a one-on-one session tomorrow. How's that sound?
For sure. Yeah, send me a Zoom link and we'll figure it out. Okay. All right then. So, Oz
eating these books.
The other thing that you see clearly in that room is you see a giant gaping hole. When you stepped in there.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's funny, Oz clearly saw that. The player just disregarded that for whatever reason.
No, you were playing to your character. You were engrossed in these books and you went to see them. But it seems like it's like a hole in the ceiling that's like it seems like it might go somewhere else. You're not sure. It's like pitch black in there, like almost like the like whatever lighting that you have can't really like penetrate it.
He'll fling a firebolt down the hole. Like I don't know if there's any light that comes off this spell. Like it doesn't say that there is, but bolt of flames, so maybe there's like a 1 foot radius around it. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, that's always a tough one here. Just gonna make
And
a
if that
call.
doesn't work, he'll no, he won't go so far to light a book on fire.
Yeah, it's okay. So yeah, oh yeah, whoa. Not in this world. We're not burning books in any world. So yeah, you light it. Yeah, or sorry, not light. You shoot out, right, and then like it emits light as it normally does, and it gets to a point maybe like between 5 and 10 feet into the hole, and it just not like it like goes out or anything like that, but whatever light, like you see whatever, and then it's just gone.
I've learned how to make black firebolts. Woo!
So you're not sure, and you're just like, okay, that's odd, but you're not like, okay, well, there's clearly some darkness type magic happening here that's kind of preventing from light peeking through. But
did you say this is on the floor or the ceiling?
So right, like this, it's like weirdly, and it's for you, it's the other way. So yeah, it's like on the floor. You're like on the ceiling, but for you, it's on the floor. So it's almost like you have to like propel yourself, or like get a ladder, or hook yourself up, or something. It's truly disorienting.
Well, I mean, he knows it would be stupid to like pop down that hole.
Yeah, why would you do such a thing? Unless you want to continue on.
I mean, obviously, I mean, that's got to be where the well, yeah, it's a hole, whatever.
It's
Who needs it?
Fair enough. Okay. All right. So it seems like Oz, you come back out, and then you reorient back up with Zoran there.
Oz is gonna hurl a little on the floor because he imagines this is all very disorienting.
It is all very disorienting, and I was actually going to have you roll that at some point for all of you, as you're kind of like, the blood's going to be going to your head as you're collecting the books and stuff like that. So
Zoran is still confused on why.
You weren't out there for too long, so
would have puked.
You're fine, but yeah, you do feel a little bit uneasy, a little queasy, and stuff like that. Okay, so let's go back to everyone. What do you guys do next? Do you guys kind of like remate back up in the hallway? Oz immediately goes to the other room and gets flipped upside down again.
And he's like, he needs a brown bag to breathe in and out of.
I would probably make my way back to the hall.
Okay.
Timothy will give Oz the vials.
Oh.
I don't know what these are, but you can have them.
Are they magical?
They're all magical.
I don't know what they are.
When you did the check, you did say you saw it ping in that room.
Well, I didn't know if that was from my allies' equipment.
Wouldn't that detect magic still be going? Does that?
It would be for a little.
It would be, yeah.
For like at least another 8 minutes.
I don't know if Jimothy, if you still have it, or who has it at Silo between the two of you. But when you approach Oz, you also notice there's a ping coming from the robe itself.
I suspected these damn red wizards. I mean, look at that ugly robe. Look at this crappy stitching. They call it fashion. I call it a mistake.
Couture.
Yeah, you tell them, Oz. You tell them that they have poor taste.
And where are they now?
Who's to say? Okay.
Do I get the sense of magic, like the type of magic of each of the potions and what's coming off of the robe?
Yes. So from the robe, yeah, you get some, obviously some more kind of a bit darker-ish magic. It's not inherently like evil or necromantic per se, but you do get something. Oh, I'm trying to see what it actually gives you in terms of the school of magic. So I'll say for this, why don't you give me an Arcana check for all the items, and then we'll like, depending on what you get, we'll see how quickly you're able to kind of. You'll get them eventually. It's just
25.
Holy smokes. Okay. So, you don't necessarily, it will require eventual attunement, but we'll start with the robe, because I think the robe's the most interesting. The robe, and then, are you guys all like with Oz as he's doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of like are like inspecting it, you're like, there's clearly magic to this, and then all those little like lines and dashes or things open up, and they're like a bunch of like all of them like simultaneously to reveal a bunch of eyes on the robe.
Ah! He dropped it. Who does
And
this?
you have acquired quite a magical item known as the Robe of Eyes. This robe is adorned with eye-like patterns. While you wear the robe, you gain the following benefits. Now, this is going to be stupidly strong here, so I might have to nerf it a little bit. But I think it's really cool, and I think it's appropriate. The robe lets you see in all directions. You have advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely solely on sight. You have a dark vision out to a range of 120 feet, which is crazy. And you can see invisible creatures and objects, as well into the ethereal plane out to a range of 120 feet.
Okay, hold on. I can see in all. Whoever wears this can see in all directions. They can see out to 120 feet in the dark. They can see into another dimension. They're on their knees puking their guts out. Their brain can't handle that.
Yeah. That's why the robe does it. It allows you to kind of sense that. It has a couple of additional things. I'm going to modify it because like this is a crazily rare item. So I might like reduce the ranges, like you might unlock it later and stuff like that. Because but I really think this is like appropriate for something that would be here. So I will give you that item, whoever wants to have it, or if you guys want to roll off for it, or whatever you guys want to do in terms of who gets what.
Is it an actual armor type, or is it like, is robe an armor type?
You would. It would wear like a. It would be like a magical item that requires attunement. So it wouldn't be like instead of armor.
It doesn't count as like your chest piece, like like studded leather.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
So it's pretty nice.
Should probably go. Well, I guess did Oz explain what it does, or is he just like figuring this out? Like, it's worthless garbage, but I think I like the fashion.
I feel like all of us were really grossed out by the eyes, but then once Oz tells us, we're like, oh,
yeah, I mean, you guys
okay,
see
that makes
all
sense.
the eyes. I don't know if he tells you that. It's funny. He's like looking at it and he's like insulting it, and now it becomes even more hideous. And then you guys all see the eyes, right? And then he releases like, ah, and it kind of like drops on the ground, and the eyes shut again.
It could be worse. Could be a robe of brown eyes.
Ding!
Boo!
Oh man!
Just wait till one of them winks at you.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's a world of magic. A lot of things are possible. All right.
Okay.
So you have this. Okay. Yeah, and you have a couple of potions here. Potions. And Jimmy, you probably would have like if you spend a bit more time with them. One of them is a potion of. Just want to make sure I get this right. You get a potion of healing, a greater healing potion. So one of them is like, it looks like a standard healing potion, but just maybe a bit more concentrated. So instead of the 2d4 plus, what is it, 2, right? It's the 44 plus 4 variant of that. So it's kind of like almost like a greater healing. You have it looks like a potion of resistance, classic resistance. And actually there's 2 of them. One's a resistance to ice and one's resistant to poison.
When you say ice, do you mean cold?
Cold, yeah. Sorry.
Or are you introducing a new damage type because it's
No.
up here?
Absolutely not. Yeah, so the cold, and then the last one, probably the most interesting one, is a potion, an oil of etherealness. It's a potion of etherealness.
Oh, that's gonna pair well with the robe.
You can see things and then conceal yourself. By far the most interesting item is the robe, but you have it.
Disagree. I like the cold resistance.
You got it.
Oz will tell the group about the robe, and he'll say, I don't think I can wear... I cannot wear that robe.
Yeah. And I don't know you and Silo kind of know this information. You're more welcome to tell them, but what this robe represents and like maybe a bit about the organization if you want.
Does it come with a curse?
I'm just gonna ask it because we're all thinking it.
Well, I was just thinking, man, throwing eyes. It could be thrown a robe of lies. You never know.
I don't know that it. I don't know.
So yeah.
Aside from the horrendous curse of actually wearing the robe, I don't know that it is magically cursed.
Yeah. From what you gather, yeah, it doesn't have a curse on it.
It is just a cursed item. I mean, have you seen it?
It is, in a sense, a kind of like, it's like almost like a weird sacrilegious magical item, right?
It's just ugly.
Yeah, and like, you don't know exactly what it represents. Maybe you could, try to. Oh my gosh, what's the word where like restore it or like almost like sanctify it, or I forgot, like how do you like
consecrate it?
Consecrate it, yes.
We could exercise the robe.
Yeah, or something like that. It's gonna, yeah, whatever it is, like it has that kind of like symbology with it.
Me as a player, I'm like, I could really use this because I can't see shit in the dark, but my character would be like, this is an evil item and it probably needs to be destroyed.
Well, Fabius is thinking Jimothy wants to rock this bad boy in the sketchiest way possible.
Evil and creepy sounds right up my alley.
Yeah, I was going to say. He likes to make deals where he can make sure no one's invisible around him.
Jimothy
yeah,
will
and
try
I'll say
it
this,
on
yeah.
If no one else is like eager to wear it, Jimothy will try it on and see if it matches his eyes.
No, I figured. Yeah, I figured it would go to Jimothy, like from the description, because you like going a little bit further up and sneaking, and feel like that could help.
Mm-hmm.
It's too evil for Oz. Then Jimothy's probably the next best because Bofades doesn't think it's going to help his music any. So
to
clarify, help your
clarify,
performances though, like it's the visual art side of your performance.
it needs more feathers for that. There a boa of eyes somewhere?
You can give them longer eyelashes. You give them a lash lift.
There we go. Yeah.
The
Some
robe
eyeshadow
of
around each
mucho
of 'em.
mascara.
So I will say this, no, I appreciate you guys credit to your character and stuff like that. And if you at some point, like, you know, like consecrated or whatever you want to do, if you guys want to pursue those avenues for it eventually, like, you know, we can talk about that. Cause like, I mean, it is a pretty damn good item. So like,
Yeah, we'll just see if Jimothy experiences any changes.
Changes.
Like a deeper voice or
He shows up really emo.
yeah,
Man,
he's
how
got a hair
deep are we
swoop to the
talking?
side.
black nail polish.
Yeah, he's got like
It would be red.
black eyeliner and everything.
He's got like the hair that just covers one eye.
Yeah. It's Jimothy's emo phase for sure.
Starts talking
he's a
about
Hot Topic
taking.
kid now.
Let's say starts talking about taking a long walk down the road instead of a quick trip across the street.
Oh my God. Okay, so
Cool.
Jimothy, you don this, and it requires attunement. Okay, so I'll have to add this and kind of like modify it later. So yeah, I'll have to kind of get that back to you next week. But we'll say you have it for now, right? It'll take some time for you to attune it, right? It takes like an hour or so. So you don't feel the immediate effects. I'll kind of say when those happen. One thing I will say though, as you put it on, as you don it, you feel you feel gorgeous. Like it really does match your eyes. But you feel something sinister about this particular item as you put it on yourself. You're like, oh, this doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel horrible, but you're just like, something's a bit off about what you're putting this on. As you gonna let it consume you or whatever.
45 children died to make this robe.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Where
not
do you
exactly
think
sure
the
where those
eyes
eyes came from. Yeah, as you put it on, you're kind of like trying to like get the eyes to like activate, but they don't. They just still maintain shut. It's weird, right? It's like eyes, but they don't have any like eyelashes or anything like that. It's just it's creepy. Okay. And the one thing I wanted to say is the eyes are like various different shapes and sizes. Like they're not like you know, some of them are like almost like reptilian looking, some are like human looking. It's a weird fucking robe.
Love it.
Okay. All right. So, I have to go to the bathroom really bad, so let's take a quick break here. And then yeah, we'll pick it up and see where you guys want to go to next.
Alrighty, so
Sounds good.
we'll be right back.
Yep. That's hilarious. Okay.
Right, we're back.
All right. Well, are we back?
Yep.
Okay. So, that's hilarious. That's really funny. What did I? Okay. Okay. So yeah, you have this, Jimothy. Oh, let me add it to your character sheet because you probably want it. Add some art to it.
I feel like Oz ended up puking after going in and out of the rooms. Does Asilo, Jimothy, or both Hades do the same thing?
Yeah, they don't feel great. But you guys weren't in there as nearly as long, so you guys were able to. But we'll just say right now you don't feel any like mechanical effects per se, like in the game, but you do. What's the word? Yeah, you do feel like like, whoa, okay, if I were in there for longer, I'd probably could get sick or something like this. But yeah. A robe of cataracts. I just saw that. Jimothy, do you see that on your character sheet? The robe of eyes.
I think he nodded yes.
Yeah, sorry, I have muted myself. Yeah, I see it.
Okay, cool. Great. Yeah, so instead of 120 feet, I have it now for 60 feet, and then I made the save as somewhere to cast this, so I need to be a bit higher. So.
Okay.
But you pretty much get every of the perks except the distance. Like you don't get 120 feet, you just get 60 for the most part.
It's cool. I just changed the range back to 120.
Well, don't do that.
It was real easy.
Yeah, I just changed this number here from 60 to 120. It was easy.
Well, don't do that.
Sixth.
And I changed it from dark vision to true sight.
Perfect.
So beautiful. So Jimothy and you guys, you see him put him on. He's got this effect on him. What was I gonna say? Oz, do you mention about the hole in the other room?
Yeah, I would share that.
Share that little tidbit.
There's a weird hole in the other room with the books.
Maybe one of us should go down there. Just one.
Are you saying we should go that way?
Where else can we go?
Looks like we're going that way.
Yeah, from what you can see, yeah, you haven't seen, like, you saw the staircase, right? And Jimothy and Zorn kind of like looked at it, and it seems like you can't really get quite up it. But yeah, you do have this access point there.
Jimothy, as soon as you put that robe on, do you just see a bunch of invisible creatures all around us?
No. No effects yet, sadly. This thing's busted. I'm going to just burn it.
You start poking the slits. Wake up.
Okay. So yeah. So let's say you guys move into the other room. And who's doing what?
Will you unpause it?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Thank you.
So cold up here, time froze.
That's how it works.
I guess I'll say, Oz, do you want to lead the way? You know where this hole is?
Jimothy now knows where the hole is.
No, Jimothy does not know.
Jimothy does not know. He can only see everything now. Well, not quite yet. He's not attuned, but he has it. Okay.
Is this hole taking up this whole area, or can I stand over here?
You could
make some room.
Yeah. You can. So, you can kind of like push kind of like books and like hug along the wall, and you can get around.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Looking down
so you guys kind of see this large 5 to 10 foot diameter hole that kind of goes deep. It's almost like pitch black at a certain point, but you can't see anything past.
I'll drop my torch down in the hole.
Okay. So, and again, sorry, and just to make sure you guys have the, you guys are like inverted upside down, where you look out into the hallway and it's like right side up. the hole is beneath you. It's or above you rather. It's almost like on the floor where you guys are on the ceiling. So you chuck the torch, and it goes down, and the light extinguishes from it. And you don't see anything past it.
I hear a splash.
So you chuck it. You wait like a second or two, and then the torch comes back and it relights.
Fuck's sake.
Towards you.
What?
So it's almost like
So the holes above. It's essentially. I know we're flipping around and shit, but it's essentially we're in a room and it's the holes in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay, so to get into the hole, we have to like fight against gravity. We can't fall into the hole.
Right. Yeah, I know this is all some fucked up shit, but this is exactly what's going on here.
How far is it the ceiling? Like how far away is it?
It's 12 feet high.
12?
12, yeah.
Holy beans.
So there are bookcases in here and stuff. Can we maybe move some of them towards the hole, kind of make like a makeshift ladder thing?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, if you see, a couple of like shorter bookshelves, you can almost like make them like steps. So if you guys want to kind of like push them around, I'll say a couple of you will have to roll kind of like one of you to roll kind of like a maybe like a survival check to kind of like make sure, or some sort of wisdom check to kind of like make sure you put it together, and then the other you're kind of like, okay, let's actually do the physical work to put this up.
We can use my wisdom for supervision.
Do we really need to do this though? I mean, we got the loot. We could just leave.
But how do we leave?
Magic.
Didn't we fall like 20 feet down into here?
Yeah, you like slid down. I mean, you could take the time to kind of try to go back up, but I mean, it's cased with rocks and ice, so I'm not saying you can't do it. But
I guess maybe we would have spent a second at least looking at the hole we fell in. So did it look like it would have been possible to get out that way, or pretty difficult?
It would be pretty difficult because like it's wide, right? Like it's like you'd have to like like almost like come like climb against it, like pick at it and stuff like that. So it's not impossible.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it really seems like we have one direction to go.
One direction, yes.
Right. Well, let's do it.
Okay. So who wants to help me with the bookcases?
I'll supervise. You should
Okay,
put this one there.
Timothy, give me a survival check here to kind of see how you're like, all right, I'll take the lead in telling you where to go where.
Give me a middle management check here. All right.
Yes.
I did my part by giving Asilo some bardic inspiration.
You should
A
inspire my
shockingly
management.
competent middle manager.
Yes, the middle manager is actually providing good feedback and suggestions and
Right,
how
bend with your knees.
and
Safety first.
Instead of
Declare my safety first.
a video of be like, here, look at House OSHA, and like give him like a 2-hour like training video. He just actually is like, here are the pointers that you need to know.
Right.
Okay, I'll need a couple athletics checks to kind of like push this. These bookcases are a bit heavy here. Oh dang, Zorn's been working out. All right.
Motivated by my safety speech.
It's because I'm not sick from going in and out of all those rooms. This is my first time in a room, upside down room.
Yeah, I mean, you do feel like the effect of like blood kind of like rushing to your head, but it's not. You haven't been like playing around with that too much. Yeah. Okay. I need somebody else to help out Zoran here.
I will assist Zoran.
Okay.
Nice. Athletics. Nine.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, I have Bardic Inspiration. Was that a D6?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
6.
Please don't be a 1. Please don't be a 1.
6.
You
Ah!
jinxed it. 10. A fucking 10.
Oh god. Well, Buffettes, he's kind of like, go get him, Tiger. It doesn't really give... Attaboy, you got this. He hands him a poster of the Hang in There cat.
Oh god.
That should inspire him. No.
Are you sure it's not the frog choking the stork that says never give up? Well, it's in the stork's mouth.
Yeah, one of those. Or he describes them. He doesn't actually. He like sings it. He's like, oh, or something. Anyhow, it takes a little bit of time, but Zoran, roided out. She's able to kind of like lead the charge here and is able to kind of put these bookshelves in place with Jimothy's middle management skills and make like a little like pseudo staircase that would allow you guys to kind of like reach the ceiling there.
Hmm.
Okay, so who goes in first? I'll kind of need like a quote unquote marching order.
Timothy can go
I guess
first. He's lightweight. Make sure this thing doesn't collapse.
I'll be right behind Jimothy.
Okay, Jimothy.
So that he doesn't get attacked.
Okay, so Jimothy, you start going up, and then you get to the point, you kind of have to like, kind of like start grabbing at the sides of this or start climbing against it. So I'm going to need you to give me an acrobatics or athletics check to kind of get, start crawling through this hole here. Okay, with a 19, you're kind of like able to kind of like position yourselves, kind of like almost like jump to edge there. And yeah, you get to the point, and then you're maybe like 5 or 10-ish feet into like the hole, and then you feel like the gravity like switch against you, and then it starts pulling you in, and you suck through the hole. It's sort of weird saying that, but you pull right through.
Do you yell or scream out or something?
Oh,
Because I'm behind you.
I yield. I give myself to the hole.
Great.
Oh god, the maturity here is perfect. Okay,
Hey, we're adults.
You're right. Sorry. Okay, so let me bring Jimothy over. I don't want to do this. I always forget. I don't want to like just drag you across because that reveals things.
I mean, we're all gonna probably make it. You can just wait.
Yeah, I'll just cut him.
So you think
Jimothy,
you just delete me and then put me somewhere else?
You've been deleted, Jimothy.
Well, that would catch me by surprise. All of a sudden switching sides or something. So I am going to maybe yell out to the group like, "Hey, I'm getting something."
Okay, Jimothy, you are going to be placed.
Passing by train.
Yeah, I'll follow that.
Jimothy's there. Oops, I just targeted you. No, target for Jimothy. There you go. Okay, so Jimothy, you go in, and then you guys hear like, oh, you gotta gives in, and then like the voice kind of like just ceases, like almost like it's cut off, and then he's gone.
I'm gonna light another torch when I get to the other side, assuming I left my old one.
Yep. So Jimothy, you're in another room here.
I feel like we should have used rope, but at this point we're too far gone.
Yeah. So let me describe a little bit what Jimothy sees before we press on to you guys. So Jimothy, you are in. So Jimothy, now in this particular room, you are on the floor. You feel totally normal, but then everything else is on the ceiling and inverted. So It seems like the tables are like, you see the top of the tables on the ceiling. Everything's like placed normally on the ceiling, and it seems like the ground is like the ceiling, like you're inverted. It's like you're actually on the upside down. So this room contains 2 metal cages, both badly damaged. Nearby, you see the kind of like the tunnel or the hole that you just came from, and then you see another one that might lead you to somewhere else.
Is the one that I came out of to my left, and the other one that I see to the right?
Let me make sure that's correct. No, the other way. Sorry, actually, I need to move you a little bit. You are. So you'd be here. So this here is the one that you just came from, and this is going to another location.
Got it.
Okay. So, okay, yeah. So you see these 2 cages in this particular room. It seems like, sorry, and they're up, right? They're like on the ceiling. You see, it seems like one of them has like a carapace of some sort of like insect-like person. And yeah, you see that there's like windows in this room, but the windows, what they reveal, they're almost kind of like filled, like dusted over. They kind of reveal like dirt, or like you're just like, oh, okay, this is not gonna. The outside here seems like to be below ground.
Okay.
So
we'll huddle in the corner here or up against the wall and kind of be very silent.
Okay, give me a stealth check, please.
With my torch, I guess. I'll leave the torch like laying on the floor, so I'm not holding it. Like I'll just have
but you're not like making noise or anything like that. Sure.
Yeah. It'll be quiet.
I like that. So yeah, give me a stealth check right there. All right. So for the rest of you, let's. I'll hold on to that. But dang, Jimothy, god damn.
That's right.
Zorn, you said you were up next. So you see Jimothy, he's gone. Do you follow? Do you do anything different?
I mean, I'm gonna, I guess, yell out and see if he can hear me. Like, did you make it on the other side safely? And I feel like I'm not gonna hear anything.
Yeah, you're not gonna hear a response, and then for Jimothy, who's on the other side, he doesn't hear you. So I don't know how long you wait, but yeah, you're just kind of waiting there.
I mean, I guess I have to follow after him though. So I can either go, or if we want to tie a rope, we can. If you guys want to tie something on this end, and then I can tie it to something on the other end, or something.
Oh, I thought you had already gone.
I was just gonna say, seeing Jimothy get sucked in, I was just gonna run after it.
Okay, so yeah, Oz is kind of like, or not Oz, sorry, Asilo pushes, I was looking at Greg here, pushes past and just kind of like, past Zoran and just kind of goes right after Jimothy.
We don't know that he's still he's gone.
And then
could be dead. They both could be dead.
I will delete you right over, and then
all right,
He's dead.
I think the satyr's gonna do the same.
Okay, so you guys just go in. Zoran, are you following as well? That's right.
No, I'm gonna take some rope and maybe tie it to something that I can on this side, and take it hold on to it as I go into this hole.
Okay, give me a survival check as you do that. Asilo, I will pop you onto the other side here. And then Bophades, you also do that, right?
Oh yeah, I'm following right behind us.
Oops, I just made you twice. Either.
13 for my survival check.
Okay, so for your survival, yeah, you seem like you do feel like you did a solid knot, and then yeah, you go, you follow suit, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, so then you, Asilo, and Bophades, you see the exact same thing, right? Where like, you land, and then Jimmy thinks that it's a good thing you moved over to the side there, otherwise you would have seen an Asilo and Bophades coming up crushing down on you.
At terminal velocity.
Terminal velocity is just like silent weight, weighs like what, 600 pounds?
Yeah, something like that.
That's really fresh by some regular guy.
Okay. So yeah, you got two cages, and again, the same thing. Everything's like inverted. You're kind of like on the ceiling per se, like the big main floor cages, and there's like the first room that's like up above you. So it's a round ceiling, and the ceiling is the ground.
Down.
And then Zoran, you get through as well, and you move you over. Not last person, certainly not least. Is Oz. What are you doing, bud? To the rope?
I'm gonna yank on the. I'm like gonna tug the rope and then just wait to see if anyone like tugs the rope back and moves it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a great question. So the rope does go through, right? You guys see the rope. It's below you. It's on the floor, really. Like it comes from the hole, and it's kind of like. It's weird. It's like hanging weirdly out. Like it's almost like it was like you're hanging a rope, right? And like it's almost like dangling, but it's inverted. It's like vertically dangling from the ground that you're looking at. And then it gets up to a certain point, and it's kind of like loose. So it sounds like it looks like it's dangling for a little bit, and then once it gets a certain distance above the ground, it looks like it's just loose and like falls over. It's really weird.
Do I notice if the rope is being tugged at?
Yeah,
Once I
so
get to
yeah,
this other room.
you see the kind of like hanging end or the hanging part of the rope that's coming through. That part starts moving, but the part that's like just above, like on the hole, that part just doesn't move at all. So you see a little bit of vibration towards the bottom that's coming from the dark pit, essentially.
Then I'll try and tug it a little bit.
Okay.
Because I don't think Oz can hear me.
Sure. You tug it a little bit, and then Oz, you notice the vibrations from the other end. Or the
Well,
movement.
that's all he was waiting for. So he will, I guess, reluctantly go into this mystery hole.
Okay. So for you, and I guess and Zorn as well, as you're kind of like going up, because you guys climb through rather than just kind of like fall through. It's weird. You get the same feeling of re-inverting through the process, and then eventually you guys see you just see Oz's head pop out. Just because you saw Zoran's head pop out, it's just like his head just kind of like coming through it. Oz, it feels really weird because like part of your body's like inverted one way, and then the other part, the upper half, is not.
Fucking wizards.
And then eventually you kind of pull yourself through, and then you are on the other side. So let me move you over. You are there. Technically, you're really all above a bunch of each other, but for the sake of squares, there you are at. So you as well see the cages and everything on the ceiling as I described earlier.
All right.
Did Jimothy hear anything from this door as people were slowly working their way through the plumbing?
Oh, man.
Sorry, say that again? You hear what?
Did I hear anything from this door next to me while everyone was coming through the hole?
Yeah, give me a perception check, please.
And his name is John C.
All I hear is wind whistling from this hole.
Okay, so from that hole, okay, you are there. Let me double check this real quick. Okay. So from the other room, you hear you don't hear any wind, but you do hear like a crackling, a popping sound, almost like it's coming from like a fireplace.
Okay, but no talking, no movement or anything like that.
No talking, no movement. Let me double check one thing here. Yeah, you're not able to. Yeah, you don't hear anything else coming from the other side, besides just the kind of like crackling from the a fireplace or firewood burning or something like that. That's what it sounds like to you, Nate, with a natural 20 there.
I guess I'll see if I see any traps on the door.
Okay. I'll carry that over. You don't have to roll anything else. You don't immediately see traps on that door. I'll say that's what your crit gives you.
No, I guess once everyone's here, then I'll try to open it.
Okay. So you open the door.
Ah!
And the same thing, it looks like this room kind of reveals like from what you immediately see, like you're just moving around, like a little study. And you see kind of like a door to your left and then a door to your right. And the thing, everything is, again, above on the ceiling for you, like everything's kind of strewn about. And then you see kind of like burning, it's not shown here, but it is there. Like at this corner over here, or this edge of the wall there, like a fire burning. It's almost like, and it's it seems like it's producing some heat. The room does feel a little bit warmer than all the other rooms.
Does it look like this fire is being tended?
No one's there. It's just on its own. It's just burning. But it seems like somebody has been maintaining it. If it's still continuing burning, it's like it's not like it's dying or anything like that. It's got a decent burn to it.
So someone's been here somewhat recently to deal with this fire.
That's what you would gather, yeah.
Okay. I will point that out to my traveling companions. What do you think this is? Someone's here? Except I'll whisper that. I think someone's here.
Yes, we're here.
Boo.
I'll say only one way to find out and
Should
step
we
through
go?
the door.
Go in?
Yeah. I feel like a silo just like does the step with his crotch over my head, like one leg over each side of me, and just steps over my head.
And with all those eyes, you can see it all.
I'm gonna ask Oz or Bofades if they have any other rope, because I want to. You said there was another hole in here, right?
Yes.
In the current room, yeah, the current room that you're at, there is another hole. It's like right there where I'll ping it on the map there.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can like get a rope through that hole, like what I did in the other room. But is there anything to tie something on in here? Like a rope? Anything against the wall or like
Yeah, so on the there's like rocks. Maybe like you try to find like give me a survival check to kind of also like look through the wall, see if you can find anything here. But yeah, again, sorry, this so you guys kind of came through a hole, and then there's a hole that's kind of like below you, right? That's where you came from, and then the other hole is up on the ceiling, so kind of like the similar way of the other room. Okay, with an 18, yeah, you seem like you can kind of like, yeah, get a point at the wall. It seems like it's almost like a bit crumbled. You could probably like, okay, this could be like a point of where I could kind of wedge it in, like tie it up, and but the tricky part is, right, like now you have to like, you didn't have any like bookcases or anything like that. Now you kind of have to like scale the wall or figure out a way how you're gonna physically put yourselves up on the ceiling.
How big is the room though? Like if I were to toss the rope, because I'm hoping that on the other side it will like become tight and I can
I
just
see.
throw
I
the
see.
rope up or something.
So the ceiling again are like 12-ish, 10, 12-ish feet. So a decent toss, but you have to, again, like the hole has its own respective depth to it, so you're gonna have to like.
Yeah. I'm gonna try a toss first and see if I could get it on the first try maybe. Like if my bunched up rope can get tossed up there and maybe make it to the other side. Maybe.
All right.
I doubt it.
You guys are actually kids. I see you guys just giggling over there. Okay, give me an athletics check, Zoran, as you. This particular part of the adventure is just filled with silliness. Okay, a 13. Yeah, you chuck the rope up towards the hole, and yeah, unfortunately, it's not the greatest throw, and you you get it in like the right direction. It's not enough to go through, and it just kind of like arcs back down.
All right. Well, I'll just leave this rope for later. So maybe I'll try something else if we find something in the other rooms.
Okay. Silo, I see you kind of like moving a bit towards the door to your left there. Did you want to do anything with that, or what are you doing?
I will check the door to see if it's locked or traps or anything.
Sure. Give me an investigation check, please.
Hey, that's my best roll all night.
Let's go.
-1 for exhaustion.
Oh, that exhaustion. Okay. Okay, so with the 15, yeah, you don't immediately see, you don't see any traps or anything that would be triggering or activated there. So yeah, do you think everything's hunky-dory?
So I'll try the knob and see if it opens.
Okay. So yeah, you open it up and it reveals like a tiny room. You can see there. Or really can't really see, it's kind of struggling to see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you see this room here. What's a bit odd as like you kind of like push the door and it kind of like pushes or pulls out. It's got the same effect except there's like a couple chairs that they're all towards the ceiling as well. One's kind of like smashed to pieces. So everything about like the other rooms is the same, where everything's like all the furniture and all the pieces are towards up on the ceiling.
But other than the chairs, I don't really notice anything interesting.
Yeah, I mean you could give a perception. You'd have to go in though. It's a little bit cramped and kind of like look up.
I can't.
Get yourself in.
I'm too fat to fit through the door.
These walls. Oh, I think I made it a bit too narrow. I'll throw you in there. Get in there.
Yep. That's a very small room.
Yeah, it is. It is very tiny. Yes. So you get in there, and then yeah, give me a perception check as you kind of like spot around, see if you find anything particularly interesting.
I don't see shit.
You don't see shit.
What the hell is going
Oh,
on?
this room's boring. I squeeze myself back out.
Yeah, I'll yeah, this move you into the other room for a second. You do notice as you're kind of like, because you're heavy, right? Like, and you like, as you take steps, you kind of like make a bit of sound. You notice in this particular room, you emit no sound whatsoever. Like the entire absence of sound. Like You're just like, what? And as soon as you step back out, yeah, you kind of hear your steps as you go back into the other room.
It sounds like a crate full of pots fell back into the other room.
A little bit, yeah. You're like nothing, and then just clunk, clunk, clunk. So yeah. What are the rest of you guys doing as you're kind of moving around here?
I tell the rest of the group it is very quiet in that room.
I'm gonna grab the rope that Zoran tried to throw up through the hole, and I'm gonna just mage hand drag the rope up through the hole.
Okay. Yeah, you can certainly do that. Sure. I don't know what's the range for mage hand there? Like,
up to 30 feet.
okay, yeah, certainly. You're able to kind of like take it up, and then you get to a point where like the hand can't go through, but you can get to the point where the rope can go through relatively quickly. Well, sorry, the hand does go through, sorry, but doesn't feel any of the effects. And you can't see, sorry, you get to a point where you can't see the hand go through.
Okay. As long as the rope seems to be getting more taut, I'll try and, well, what happens if I can't see the hand?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, what is the language of the spell or abilities? It's a cantrip, right? Or
It's a cantrip, and it just says that I choose within range, so I can make it appear, and then I can use my action to like move the hand up to 30 feet. So I'll just continue moving it up until, like, presumably if it hits like a wall, like that's as far as it's gonna go. It can't pass through a wall.
Sure. So yeah, you get to the point where, let's see here, doing a little bit of quick math.
It's not the spectral mage hand, it's just the mage hand.
Right. Yeah, you get to a point where, yeah, it goes through. It doesn't reach a wall, but it does reach a point where, yeah, you reach the extent of the limit of the mage hand, essentially.
Well, as long as the rope is going up through the ceiling, I'll consider that a success. I look forward to
and it stays
trying
there. You get to the point where I don't know if you can feel the sensation of it, but you would get the point where it like does feel taut on the other side, or I guess to a point where it feels like it's dangling or something.
I'll let go, and Oz will just examine the rope on his side to see if anything, like if it's falling back down or whatever.
Yeah, it seems like it's like almost falling back, but then something is kind of like contradicting that motion on the other side, and it seems like the rope is maintaining equilibrium.
I feel like if we try and climb this rope, we're just going to pull it back through the hole.
It's possible. We'll have to see.
Cool. Thanks, Oz. That's what I was trying to do.
So yeah, you see this rope?
I can lift.
It's there. What are the others doing there?
I will probably move over to the next door and see what's going on.
I'm going into this room.
Okay. Yeah, so you open it up there?
I'll, check it for traps and see if it's locked, all that good stuff.
Okay, yeah, give me an investigation and see if it's trapped or not.
17.
There you go.
Oh.
All right. So, yeah, you check it. And yeah, it doesn't seem to be trapped at all. It seems to be relatively fine.
Then I'll just go ahead and open it.
So you open it up, and yeah, it's kind of hard to see at all. It's like you can't even see in there. But the room is kind of like where you came from downstairs, upstairs. You're not quite sure anymore, really. just how disoriented this place is. But it seems like it's the rubble from the supposed staircase from downstairs, upstairs, from one of the other levels.
Is it blocked off, or does the staircase continue in a direction?
Yeah, it seems like there's more levels to it. But yeah, the rubble is kind of like you're gonna have to start moving a bunch of the rubble in and out to kind of achieve that. And like I said before, you're not sure how long that's gonna take. But it seems like it's impeding you from getting to either of the levels, either below or above. It seems like this is a point where it could go up or down.
Okay, I start digging and trying to make my way farther down, what I'm considering the floor because I'm upside down, continuing in that direction.
Sure. Give me an athletics as you start pushing and moving some rocks there.
What the hell's going on?
Oh.
I mean, what the hell is going on?
Oh, Silo. So you kind of like start removing some of the smaller rubble, but you get to a point where you realize there's like some big pieces of stone and like chunks that are kind of like from together. Like you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to like take the time to like break this apart if I'm gonna pull this through.
So can I try and make the big piece of stone into several smaller pieces of stone?
Yeah, you can certainly attack one of them with, since you have like a warhammer, I'll say that. That's what you have, right? You have a warhammer?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say you can make an attack roll on it to kind of break some of the rubble.
Really need to trade that in for a mason hammer.
Okay. So a 16 to attack. So yeah, you take the time, and you guys all are observing this. As you come down and smash it, you get a good crack on it, and I don't know if you've done this before, but you know if you hit it just right, you can like send the crack kind of like propagating through to kind of like split it, and you're able to do so. It does make a loud like kerchunk sound, and then as you do that, it's almost like it's coming from all directions, like almost emanating from the house, or the kind of like the rooms here, the level. You're like, cease the damage to my home. You hear this voice kind of like booming through the levels here.
Open the way and I won't have to.
You do not hear a response.
I smack it again.
Okay, roll another attack roll here. Okay, so a 23. I mean, you come now with even more force as you smash the rock and this into another the other kind of like, because you smash it in half, right? You smash the other chunk that would be appropriate enough to kind of like get it through the opening of the doorway here. And again, you hear a response this time. I will find you. Booming through. And everyone else give me a perception check.
And his name is John C.
All right. Has rolled pretty well here. So Jimothy and Bofades especially here, you guys start hearing like from the ceiling some steps, kind of like shuffling about. Jimothy, Bofades, you especially hear it. That sounds like almost like heavier boots, like metal boots or something like that. Like kind of like almost like maybe like armor or something like that from the ceiling.
The ceiling in this room, so it's not like it's coming from that other hole in the other room.
It seems like it's coming, from the ceiling in this particular room. You hear some motion above you.
Okay. I'm gonna point up, and so I think something's coming from above. And is there anything that I can see on the ceiling that would give an inkling of where this might be coming from?
It seems like it's like moving away from you, so it's getting more faint, like it's maybe going towards the other room that you were just in.
Right. Okay.
But you're not quite sure.
Well, I'll say I think he's heading that way.
You point in the direction, so like Jimothy, you hear it as well, but then at least Bofades, with your natural 20, you're able to kind of see that, like, okay, it's getting more faint, it's moving away, and then the sound stops.
Okay.
Do we hear...
And it seems like it was multiple pairs of...
I'm going to say, Jimothy, maybe you should shut that door.
So we gave him a rope to use.
Have I, made a big enough hole for us to proceed, or do I need to take another swing at it?
So you get to the point where you can, like, you've broken it up. Now you're just gonna have to start keep moving pieces out. So I'm gonna need another athletics check, to see if you're still strong enough. Maybe you're tired out. Like,
no.
All right, there we go. There's a decent roll. Yeah. So now it's gonna take some time. You feel like you're like, oh, okay. It seems like as you start moving pieces, like more rubble starts kind of like moving down. It might take you, based on like kind of like the motion, it might take you like an hour of moving rubble to kind of get to a point where you can like see an opening. It's like keeps sliding down and shifting.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to continue doing that, but at least you have that notion of how much time it's going to take. You're more than welcome to take that time. But that will...
I'll keep working on that until, someone in my group finds another way to get deeper into this place or something else happens.
Okay. What are the rest of you cool cats doing? Again, you still haven't explored any of the items above you, right? Like, or any of the stuff that's technically above you. If you want to get up there to look at things, but you'll have to figure out a way to get up there. That's like the tricky part.
How beat up are those cages that are in the other room? Would we be able to stack them on top of each other?
They're one of them is like pretty smashed up. It's almost like kind of caved in and like just mainly the base. The other one's still kind of intact, and again there's something like in that particular cage. It's dead, it looks like. It looks like it's some sort of like carapace of some kind. That's kind of like it almost kind of looks like a like hollowed out like cicada body type thing.
So it's really tiny.
Well, no, it's large, but it looks like that that type of shape and description. It's really tiny. You're like, wow,
what an idiot. You could have just walked through the gap in the bars.
What a fool.
Freaking bugs. It's like the fly that won't leave out of the window.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
So how tall is the cage?
The cage is about maybe about an average man's height. Something like 5-6-ish feet.
But the cage is on the ceiling, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to get it down. It's almost like it's bolted on top of the ceiling, or it's like placed on top of the ceiling. It's weird.
Oz would like to look around for a nice, convenient ladder.
I was gonna say, can I check this small room again? I know the silo went in there. But
Yeah, so again, Pophates, you step into that tiny little room there, and yeah, you're because you're not wearing shoes, right? You're just have your hoofs, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, you're so used to the kind of like the of the your stride, your patterns of the pitter patter of your hooves, and then as soon as you step in, it's gone. It's completely silent in that room.
Okay. Well, there's nothing in there.
Give me a perception check. See if you find anything of note. Uh yeah, it seems to be just like a couple chairs, and yeah, it seems like there's nothing really too much of interest in here.
Yeah.
I bet there's a ladder in this room.
A sec. We'll use the chairs.
They're up again, right? They're like up on the
They're on the
ceiling.
ceiling.
Got it.
Yeah, I know this is really confusing, and I appreciate you guys.
I can't leave.
I mean, I'm fine with waiting for Silo with his rocks, I guess. Or there is this other hole, and it does have a rope that we've successfully put through to the other side.
Yeah. So you see Silo. He's just not even phased by the sound. I mean, you guys all heard this booming voice. It's not like it's just a Silo. And then he just keeps going.
Oh no, I broke it.
I mean, I feel like I would probably start helping him bring some of the rocks out. I mean, I don't want him to be putting rocks, into smaller rocks by himself.
Okay, I mean,
That
if you
can
guys
help
all
somehow.
want to do that and partake in that, that will definitely speed up the time for sure.
Jimothy
Yeah,
did.
I can take the smaller rocks and put them in the other room or something. I don't know, something helpful.
Okay.
Fill up the hole that's in the ground.
So that we all land on rocks.
Oz is going to use his mage hand to see if he can pull anything that's from the ceiling down. Like, he can only exert like 10 pounds of force, but he's wondering if he can get it just kind of a little bit off of the ceiling, will it naturally move down to our side?
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I like that. Give me. Yeah, I guess like I don't remember relying on it, but yeah, give me a survival on this, or to see, how that would work here. Okay.
Hopefully well. I'm hoping it works well.
Yeah, so you take the time as you're kind of observing, and then not really doing too much of the heavy lifting here as everyone's kind of moving out. But then you see a point where it's like a very it's a structural point. That's a particular it's a structural rock, holding up or supporting a bunch of rocks in a position. And then you're like, well, okay, let's give it a shot here.
Wait. I think I wanted to try and pull any of the items like the chairs and debris that's on the ceiling, not.
Oh, I see.
Not the.
Gotcha.
I'm not helping out with the rock clearing endeavor.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, great. No, that's a good clarification. Okay, so with a 19, yeah, then I guess I wouldn't have had you roll a survival check. But anyhow, you go out and reach out, and there are, let's see, what can you find in here?
Hopefully.
Yeah, you find in you find like a bunch of like paper. It seems like it's like a study.
Okay.
It's almost like a you see like some lab equipment, you see that, and that's standard. But then you see a bunch of like paper, and you recognize this paper.
Oh.
It's the nice paper for writing spells and things like that.
I grab all of that.
So you take the time to kind of look for that, and like you grab it, and you like kind of start positioning things there. And yeah, you grab all that paper and you collect about 100 gold's worth of it.
Okay.
Quite nice.
Okay. Is there anything is there a small item that? Okay, so I can actually pull things down. So what I'd like to do is find a smaller item, pull it away from the floor, and then just let go and see which direction it falls.
Yeah, so you grab a vial.
Mhm.
You are like some sort of tool. This is like a laboratory study, and you grab it. You kind of let go, and then it kind of goes back up and shatters. Then you try something else. You kind of grab it, pull it back down.
I'll
Then
pull
at a
it to,
certain
like,
point,
the halfway point and then let it go.
you pull it to the halfway point, and then it comes down towards you.
Okay. Hey, Zoran or Asilo, can you chuck me up 6 feet?
Since Asilo's doing the rock thing, I can do that. Yes.
You're gonna
Okay.
throw him 6 feet vertically? Holy shit.
I'll try.
All right, give me an athletics check.
I would like to try and time and like jump at the same point in time.
Absolutely not. It is not happening. The 12, even with the jump, it's just 12. I mean, 12 feet. I mean, or 6 feet. That's a pretty, I guess, like you could try to boost and then like, all right, you know what? Oz, also give me an athletics check. Maybe there is some sort of.
Well,
Natural one.
okay. If the 6-foot point is the halfway point and you get more than half of Oz above there, he's falling up.
Yeah, but you're about as athletic as a rock, so I feel like this
Yeah,
is...
I'll have you roll. We'll see how this works.
A fucking pebble, you mean?
Yeah, so
I
it's
need
not
you
the,
to help me help you, Oz.
Yeah, I feel like Zoran like tries. She gets him like 2 feet in the air, and he's like, "Here, let me help," and it's just like 2 feet in the air, no change whatsoever.
Yeah. You're able to kind of get up, but yeah, you're not able to kind of like push yourself solely. Like, you don't feel the effect of inverting yourself magically happen or anything like that.
Okay, we just
Gotta
have to
come back
pile
up.
these rocks up to like a 3-4 foot high pile of rocks, since there's apparently an endless supply of rocks, and then we just walk up it, and then we can just do a light jump.
All right, Zoran will start grabbing rocks and bringing them over to Osmanthus and letting him figure out what he wants to do with them.
Okay. So Zoran does the thing where you. I remember doing this. This is a totally random story. I remember working on a farm for a bit one summer, and somebody had me like they like had a bunch of like branches chopped down, and they like made me move move this pile of branches over here. And then the next week they're like, I don't like it there anymore. Move this pile of branches to this other location. And I was like, what the fuck? Okay. And I think I did that about like 3 or 4 times of just moving it throughout the summer, this pile of branches, and it was a ton of them, and I was just like, well, thank goodness I'm getting paid, but it was really shit pay. But anyhow, this is what it reminds me of. Sorry, like you take the rock pile that you and Sal have been working on, and you start moving them over, and I just see you moving the token back and forth. Okay. But yeah, with everyone, I guess, Jimothy, are you helping? What are you doing there?
I do not imagine in this scenario that Jimothy is helping. I feel like maybe Bofadius is trying, but he's got little goat feet and like he's so slow.
Can Jimothy talk for himself? Jimothy is not helping.
No. Zoran will talk for all of us.
Yeah. Jimothy is not helping.
All right. Let's cut to Bofades here. Bofades, are you also not helping or helping?
Correct.
Look,
I
feel
okay.
Zoran is doing a vital role by clearing out the excess rocks from the space over by his silo.
Okay. Sure. Okay, so you take the time to do that. And then at some point you get to a pile that you're just like, okay, this seems like, about 3-4 feet high. You cut the time a bit. It doesn't feel like it's going to take as long to get to a clearing. We'll kind of fast forward through this. So by the time you have the pile for Oz's experiment, Silo and Zoran have cleared enough where you think you could probably get to the next level here, if you choose to go up. So, yeah, what do you guys want to do here? So, Silos, you're successful. You're able to kind of clear things that you could think you're like, okay, I think this is I can use the rest of the rocks as kind of like the stairs to kind of get to the next level here.
The next level up.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think
It looks like it's up.
From our perspective, currently.
Correct.
Oz
So-
still kind of wants to go through with the experiment.
So I go, now that I've got the stairs cleared enough to get up through there, I'll move up to the next level to see if I end up back where we came from or if it's a new area.
Okay, give me a perception check, please. Okay. So it's not hard to see you. Like, you go up and you're like, okay, I don't recognize this. This seems to be a new area. So I'll move you up if you want to go up to the next level and start or look exploring over there, or I'll keep you here. But it seems like from your immediate, like, kind of like going up a little bit and seeing it, that looks like it's a different area.
Yeah, I'll head up, and I'm sure my torch is burned out, so I'll let it.
Okay. All right. So you'll go up there. We'll come back to you for a second. After here in a second. And then Oz, you still want to go through the experiment, but it seems like a silo has cleared a path to the next area.
We'll just take the damn stairs. This took too long. It's fine. Fine. I know it would work. You know, intellectually, I know my idea would work. And really, that belief is stronger than any kind of factual evidence. We'll go to we'll use the stairs.
So I will move a silo over first here. Sorry, I just deleted you. You over. You are in a new area.
Yeah, seeing the rocks get cleared out before Oz's science experiment, he'll go over to there.
Okay.
I'm sure it would have worked.
I was literally this close to laying on the floor and then Misty stepping up to the freaking ceiling.
Oh my god.
Laying down because I don't want to just like plummet my skull into the new floor if
So give me 1 second here. So give me a little bit of okay. So Silo, what are you doing?
Well, as
You see like a little door, a little like it's almost like a little like small corridor, and you see like a door that kind of opens up into another area.
As I've just come up here and haven't encountered any locked or trap doors, I just go door.
Okay, so you open the door, and you see a tall, undead-looking humanoid, armored up, waiting for you, staring at you intently, and then it charges to attack at you. And that's where we're gonna stop this time, because you just triggered a combat here, and it's 10 in Kansas, and so we'll pick it up there next time.
Well, I will call back to my friends and say, I found something I might need some help with.
Man, it's a good thing we're in this staircase where we're all really useful.
Exactly.
Zora will just shut the door then. Just get.
Yeah.
good luck.
That was the perception
Yeah,
is for
good luck.
See if you could hear anything on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay. So, awesome. Yeah, you guys are made some decent progress in this weird building here. And we'll pick it up there next week.
Alrighty.
Nice.
All right. Until next week, then.
Yeah, until next week. Thanks for
All right.
playing, guys.
Yeah.
Good to see everyone again.
Yeah.
It is good to see everyone.
No, 3 weeks was too long.
Yep.
Or whatever it was. Yeah.
Was it actually 3 weeks?
No, it was 2.
Like we only missed last week, right?
Yeah.
2
It
weeks.
was 2, but before that it was like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
We're all looking around the map like Gandalf. I have a memory of this place.
You're like, well, what's going on here? Yeah.
Either way, it's been going quick. I can't believe January's already done. So I was like, shit, is it already 12th of the way through 2024?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That math checks out.
Oh boy.
And it's already started out to be an interesting year.
Yeah.
All right. Well, until next week, then, guys.
Alrighty.
Yeah, that's a good plan. See you guys later.
So have
See
a
you.
good
Good
night.
night.
Bye.